My glasses are over there. Okay, now we're live. I had to get up and get my glasses. I had left them over there on the table. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. It's Lady Victoria with Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. I'm your etiquette educator and your worthy life coach, broadcasting to you live from the great windy city of Chicago. Chi-Town is what we like to call it because, hey, we are the best in the Midwest, and we are very happy and privileged to have you be a part of our broadcast on this evening. So go on, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, get a few more people in, even a friend of me, because there's always something here for everyone to learn. It's Thursday, and how are you? How's everyone doing while you are, ah, here we go, fix my mic, sorry. While you are logging in and tagging your neighbor and tagging your friend, I just want to welcome you and say happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Do you all still look forward to the weekend in spite of everything that's going on? I do. You know why? Because I'm off on the weekends, because I'm still getting up going to work every day. I still have to work every day. But anywho, I am glad to see you. So come on in, you all. Come on in. And please like and share across your various social media platforms. I appreciate that. Thank you for those of you that are joining me live and those that will catch the replay. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to spend time with me on this evening. For those of you that are on YouTube, my YouTube followers, you'll be able to access this video later on this evening as I will upload it after the show is over. And as you join in, please don't be shy about sharing your comments in the comment section below. I will read if I can, then I will definitely respond to them, even if it means doing so after the broadcast has ended. So I'm going to jump on into my topic. It is Thursday, as I've already said, and so I'm sharing with you my Thursday thoughts. But listen, this is a concern that I know most of us have, especially women. We have this concern all of the time, not, let me do minor adjustments, not just during this time of COVID-19 or during the pandemic, but we have this concern all of the time about being comfortable in the skin that we are in. Men share that same concern, but I think women are more outwardly expressive about being concerned about the skin that they're in, being comfortable about the skin that they are in, no matter what the situation is. And so I want to address specifically on tonight being comfortable in this skin. The skin that covers your hands. Y'all see my hands? Don't they look a little bit dry? They look a little bit ashy, just a little bit. You can't tell so much on the back side, but you can see on the inside that my palms are a little bit dry. And guess what? I moisturized them probably 20 minutes ago, but that moisturization is gone. And you know why? Because we're washing our hands now all of the time. We're always washing our hands, and it's not something that we've never done before. You know, when you are outside and you come inside, you come into your home, you typically usually wash your hands. You wash your hands, of course, when you get up first thing in the morning. You wash your hands probably before you eat a meal. You wash your hands again after you eat a meal. If you're preparing a meal, then you're washing your hands all of the time throughout the course of you preparing your meal selection. You're dealing with meats, and then you're dealing with vegetables, and then you're dealing with sauces. So your hands are always under soap and water. And that's what we're doing now today to help keep ourselves safe and to help with not spreading COVID-19. So we always want to wash our hands, and sometimes I even wash my face. You know, it just depends on where I've been, how long I've been out, and the environment that I have been in. For those of you that are essential in the medical field. I know that when you're coming home, you're not just washing your hands, but you're also changing your entire clothing and having to take a shower when you come in. Putting those clothing in a separate bag, not putting them with your regular laundry, so that your regular laundry does not become contaminated in any way. So we are adhering to all of these safety measures during COVID-19, during the pandemic. But what is this? At what cost to our skin? At what cost to our skin, especially the skin on our hands? Our hands. Our skin is the largest organ that we have in our bodies, and so we always want to be mindful of taking care of our entire temple. But these two appendagers are affected a lot throughout the day, as we are having to cleanse and to sanitize when we are out and about, and when we come back home to our families, or when you leave your workplace and even come back. In my work environment, I have to wash my hands. I also have to take my temperature every time I leave out and come back. So we're adhering to these safety measures, but our hands, like I said, are really suffering. Our hands are suffering and paying the price of dry skin, and we are coming out of the colder season, going into the warmer season now that we are into spring, and summer will soon be upon us. But we will still have to adhere to these same safety measures. And if you're wearing your PPEs, if you're having to wear gloves, every time you take your gloves off, you're having to wash your hands again. So what do you do? How do we keep our hands feeling good? How do we keep our skin feeling good and moisturized and comfortable, at a point where we're comfortable and I'm not just rubbing my hands thinking that they're rough and they feel dry and they feel rough? I haven't gotten to the place where my hands felt chafed, but I don't know, for some reason my fingertips did, and the cuticles around my nails often felt dry and kind of chafed, and that's due to the skin drying out. When the skin gets extremely dry, we're breaking down that top layer. And so I just want to, before I go into that, I want to share some things that we can do during our hand washing, and things that we can do to help our skin to feel better and help us feel better about our skin, because we always want to feel good and we want to look good, so we want our hands to look good. So we're always told to wash our hands, and generally they say wash your hands in hot soap and water. So one of the things that you can do, tip number one, is to reduce some of the dryness and some of the chafing and some of the cracking, some of the drying out of the cuticles. You don't have to use really, really hot water every single time you're washing your hands. If you count the number of times that you're washing your hands daily, it's typically more than you would normally do, not being in the situation that we're in. But since we are currently here and we're washing our hands more, you don't have to use the hottest water every single time. You can lower the water temperature, so you can actually go to your furnace and do that, or you can just mix the water with cool water when you turn it on. So cool or lukewarm water along with soap will do just as good a job as getting rid of the germs. And you're washing for at least 20 seconds, or if you're singing the happy birthday song twice, if you're reciting your ABCs twice, however long that it is that you are washing your hands, make sure that you're washing not just the inside, the palm of your hands, but you're also washing the back of your hands. You're using the soap and you're washing the front and the back of your hands. You're getting in between, and you're washing in between your fingers this way. And I also go this way as well, washing in between. And I wash up to about this far down on my wrist. I wash. I don't really scrub. I do have a soft nail brush that I use in my bathroom, and sometimes I'll scrub. Again, it depends on where I've been and how long I've been there. But always washing front, inside, outside, in between your thumbs. You want to get in there like this with your thumbs and wash. And I go down about this far on my wrist area of both hands. So hot water is more drying than cool or warm water. So this is why you want to lower the temperature, mix the water so that your water is lukewarm or even a little bit cool. Now as you're washing, as the soap is sloughing off the dirt and the germs, you look at the soap and you can see how much dirt is being removed. And so if you've done it for 20 minutes and then or the ABC song, whatever it is that you are using, you've done it for not 20 minutes, I'm sorry, 20 seconds. 20 minutes is a long time. If you've done it for at least 20 seconds and you see that the soap that's coming off it's really dirty, rinse and reapply new soap and do it again. Do you really have to use an antibacterial soap? You know, there are all kinds of claims about the antibacterial soaps, but there's not really any testing that proves that the antibacterial soap does a better job. Now, if you are using a soap or an astringent or a cleaner that is possibly used in a medical facility, then that is going to be stronger. But the everyday dial or whatever soap that you're buying from the dollar store that says it's antibacterial, it may have some properties in there, but it's minimal. So you don't have to fight over antibacterial soap. So you do want to let's see. Let me turn this down. I don't want there to be anything on it. So you want to wash your hands again, okay? And make sure that when you're washing off that the water is going into the basin, the water and the soap is going into the basin. If there's any that's dripping over, make sure that you clean that up, of course, after you wash your hands. And I know that you're doing that anyway. So when it comes to drying your hands, we oftentimes grab a towel or a paper towel and we go hard and we begin to dry our hands, you know, and we go hard. Be gentle to your skin. It's the only skin that you have. So instead of rubbing and like scrubbing almost our hands dry, pat. You can use a paper towel or a towel, you know, a hand towel, and pat your hands dry. So you don't want to add more abrasion to that top layer of the skin. And the reason why is because if we have little cracks and breaks in our skin that we might not be able to see, that could also lead to some superficial minor skin infections, and it can actually lead to more tears and breakage in the top layer, this dermis of your skin. So you want to be careful about that. And let me say about hand sanitizers up top at the beginning. Hand sanitizers are great. They are effective, okay, short term, but I only use hand sanitizers in the absence of soap and water. So when you don't have the ability to wash your hands in the face bowl with soap and water, hand sanitizer is good. I keep one in my car. I keep one in my purse. So I always have one on my person. You're going into the grocery store and what have you. If you don't have gloves, you're picking up the pen to sign for your transaction. All of the food and everything that you're picking up, it has likely been touched by someone. It has, because someone had to stock it. So we never know what other germs we might be picking up unbeknownst to us. So hand sanitizer is good, but I don't make it my go-to all of the time. Hand sanitizer has alcohol in it, and that's also very drying to the skin. So when you apply it, and you're applying it liberally, just as you would soap, you're going inside the palms, you're going to the back of the hands, you're going in between, and all of that. So I only use hand sanitizer, and I recommend that you use it as an alternative and not as your go-to on a regular basis, because it adds to the dryness of the skin. It can add to the skin tears and little breaks in the skin that we might not be able to see with our naked eye. So those kinds of things impair the skin even more, and so we don't want to add to the irritation. So only use those when you have to. But this is another way to combat your dry skin: washing, patting down with cold or lukewarm water. Pat the hands lightly with a clean towel. And while your skin is still slightly damp, I've been implementing this recently. While your hands are slightly damp, hydrate. Apply a thick moisturizer, whatever works for you. Cocoa butter, or if you have some other kind of heavy cream that you are using to help to moisturize your skin. So add a heavy layer of that, and then use what works for you. So you might have to go through a little bit of trial and error here, finding the right soap and finding the right moisturizer that really works for you and that works for you well. During this time of the season, it might be something that you're not accustomed to, something that you haven't regularly been using in your regular routine. Maybe your regular routine of skincare for your hands, maybe you're finding that it isn't as effective, or doesn't seem to be as effective because you're washing your hands more. And so it would make sense that that would be true Or you can make sure that you're moisturizing more often, even when you aren't washing your hands, in between hand washings. You apply your moisturizer, your lotion, your oil, whatever it is that you are using, and then you may find that you may need to come back in an hour or a couple of hours and moisturize again without washing your hands again, if you haven't been in an environment where you may feel overly contaminated, like being in the public sector. But if you're just at home, I would suggest that coming back and moisturizing again. And sometimes you may want to layer it up. You may want to layer it up. You wash your hands, you apply your regular moisturizer. You might then apply an oil on top of that, or maybe you apply the oil first and then apply your moisturizer. Whether again it's a cream, whatever it is that you are using that works for you. I would suggest trying that. And I would suggest using a moisturizer that does not have a lot of perfume in it. Because then again, perfume that is in a moisturizer or that is in a lotion also probably has alcohol in it, some type of alcohol. So read the ingredients. If you don't know what they are, then look them up to find out specifically what each ingredient is. If you're using something new in this time and in this season, and you're finding that you're having an adverse, is having an adverse effect on your skin, adverse reaction to it, stop using it. Stop using it, because you don't want to add to the situation or make the situation worse. Now, I like to look nice. I like to smell nice, and all of that. I don't mix my hand care and whatever body care I'm using in the way of perfumes or lotions. So I love fruit. I love strawberries. I love blueberries. I love banana. I love mango. I love a variety of fruit. Coconut, it's okay. Vanilla, I'm not a vanilla girl. I do not care personally for hand creams or lotions that smell like whatever fruit is in it. If it's too strong, then I will likely not wear that, because whatever cologne or perfume I have on, I don't want the two to clash, and I don't know how those scented interactions may come across to my nose, and I certainly don't know how they may come across to other people's noses. So stick with one fragrance. You don't want to walk around smelling like a whole fruit mart. Perhaps you did a shower in a mango scrub, and then you did something with I don't know, a strawberry rinse, and then you have put on a lotion that smells like coconut and lime. That's too much going on all at one time. And you have to also remember that when you're using all of these different oils and perfumes and what have you, and they all have a scent, again, all of those creams, lotions, perfumes has a little bit of alcohol in it. So you want to be careful about how much of it you're using and you're applying to your skin. And we're specifically today talking about our hands, and how dry the skin is or on our hands. So what type of soap do you use? I already touched on this a little bit. So let me see. We're going to talk a little bit. Any soap will do the job as long as proper hand washing technique is used. And like I already said, the 20 seconds, right? The rinse, if you need to rinse and repeat, then rinse and repeat. 20 seconds is enough. Lukewarm water. Let me see. The chemistry behind soap. Soap is a surfactant. I can't say some of these words. I get a little bit tongue-tied. Surfactant. Like it's a surface cleaner. Okay. It is a surface cleaner. And it has these little balls of soap molecules that grab and trap dirt, oil, and germs. And that's how we get rid of it. That's why we use soap, because it is this surface cleaner, and it's spelled surfactant. It's a compound that forms these little balls of soap molecules that grab at the dirt and the germs that our hands are contaminated with. And it helps to get rid of it when we use the action of rubbing with water The soap dissolves the lipids, okay, or which is the fat in our hands. This enables soap to break down the outer envelope of certain viruses, including the coronavirus. So again, I said soap is the most effective cleanser that we can use on our skin. So hand sanitizer is okay, but I wouldn't make it my go-to. Almost any soap works in the same way, whether it is a natural soap, whether again it is your favorite soap that maybe you grew up with using in your home, Dial or Irish Spring or Coast or whatever it was that you use and whatever is on the market today. As long as it has certain ingredients, including glycerin, ceramides, and hyaluronic acid. Okay, that's all for natural products. Look for soaps containing avocado oil. This is what you want to look for if you're looking for a natural soap. Soaps that contain avocado oil, shea butter, coconut oil, or jojoba oil, which are also good moisturizing ingredients. Now, that is one of the oils, the jojoba oil and coconut oil. I've used those before, and I've started using the avocado oil as a moisturizer, and it works well. I like these oils because they don't seem to linger too long, at least on my skin. They're there, and my skin absorbs it well. I don't have a lot of oily residue. If you grew up using Vaseline, you know, if you had Vaseline all over your hands, everything you touched, you could tell that you were there with your Vaseline hands. So we want to be mindful of whatever kind of soap that you are using, whether it is a regular soap or whether it is a natural one. And again, the CDC recommends that you use the hand sanitizers if soap and water is unavailable. So if it's not readily available to you, I'm just concurring with what they're saying. Soap and water and hand sanitizer at a minimum. Hand sanitizer at a minimum. So that's just some of the things that we can do to hydrate our skin. Another thing that we can do is also drinking more water. Can't emphasize enough. Drink more water, drink more water, drink more water. Everybody tells you, your doctor tells you, you know, your spouse tells you, your significant others tell you, your coworkers tell you. But it is true. It is true. The more water you drink, the more water you will want to drink because your body is requiring that. So I've made it a habit in the morning, first thing in the morning, to drink 32 ounces of water, just straight, a minimum of 32 ounces of water. And I have a container that I keep by my bedside, a capped container. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is grab that bottle of water and drink it straight down. Now, of course, it's going to run through you. Of course, if you're not accustomed to drinking water continuously all day. But that's just my first bottle of water. But I do that first thing in the morning. For one thing, I want it to act as a cleanse. First thing in the morning, I'm getting up and starting my day. So, and it does do that. It acts as a cleanser, all right, to help eradicate what it didn't get rid of the night before, flushes everything out, and then I start my day. And so by mid-morning, I'm drinking another 32 ounces of water. So that's already 64 for the day. But I'm not done. I find myself drinking water all throughout the day. And that's another way that we can help to hydrate our skin, because the more water you drink, the more water your body will require. And also the other good thing about drinking a lot of water throughout the day is you will find that you're not as hungry throughout the day. I'm a snacker. I like to have something to snack on all the time, like a handful of nuts or raw carrots, trail mix, something like that, rice cakes, or whatever it is that I'm snacking on throughout the day. So I don't really get a chance to get hungry unless I miss those components, as being a part of my day. Then I may find myself getting a little bit hungry. But drink water. Oftentimes when we think we're hungry, we're not really hungry. We might be thirsty. We might not have drank enough water throughout the day. And so that is another way to help keep yourself healthy, to keep yourself hydrated, and to help keep your body, moisturized as well. So drinking a lot of water, and also remember that sometimes when you think that you're hungry, again, the symptoms between hunger and thirst kind of cross over. They mimic each other. If you don't eat enough, you'll start to get a headache. Your stomach might start to get a little crampy, and things like that. You also have those very same symptoms when you are thirsty. You'll get a headache if you haven't had enough to drink. Your stomach may feel a little bit cramped. You may also sometimes feel a little bit nauseous if you haven't quite had enough water to drink. But it's good to know the difference between the two. I mean, and only you can begin to figure that out for your own body. But knowing what the symptoms are of between hunger and thirst will help you to know which one to feed. Because if you're hungry, you're going to go for food. But if you're thirsty, you're going to go for something liquid. And that something liquid should be water. Because water doesn't have any sugar in it, doesn't have any fat in it, and all of that is good for the body. So we don't want to drink sodas and teas and coffee and all of that. So water, not drinking enough water will make you feel like your skin is dry, not just your hands, but the rest of the skin on your body. Your arms and your legs may begin to feel dry. If you start to feel real itchy, feeling like you always have to scratch, you probably need to drink more water. If you are feeling sluggish, and if you always kind of, with your eyes, you're always picking at your eyes because it feels like maybe your eyes are kind of sticky, that's really bad. That means that your eyes are dry, and so you need more hydration. An increased heart rate will also let you know that you need more hydration. And I already said the headache and the nausea. I said that earlier. Your stomach may feel a little upset, and you may feel a little bit dizzy. All of that is thirst. That is your body craving water. So if your body is craving water, give the body what it is asking for. Pay attention to your body and know the difference. Hunger. These are the symptoms of hunger. If you're feeling empty in your stomach, if your stomach is gurgling or rumbling, here again, dizziness and faintness or lightheaded. Same symptom as thirst, but this one could also mean hunger. Again, you have to know the difference. Again, headaches, a same symptom as a thirsty person as opposed to being a hungry person. Lack of concentration and irritability, that means you need to eat something. And I've been in that position before. And then again, nausea. Nausea. So if ever you are in doubt and you figure that you can't discern between the two, whether you're hungry or thirsty, go for the water first. And if the water satisfies your appetite, then you were just hungry and you can wait until dinner or lunchtime to have something to drink. But know the difference between the two and then act accordingly. So that's all I wanted to share with you tonight on Thursday's Thoughts. I wanted to share that little tidbit of information about how we can care for our skin. Oh, before I forget, yes, at the final point of retiring for the night, wash your hands before you go to bed. You probably do if you're taking a shower or what have you. Then wash your hands separately even after you get out of the shower. Remembering to always clean underneath the nails. Again, a soft nail brush would be fine for that. Don't over scrub. You don't want to apply too much pressure to your skin or even under your nails or around your nail bed, because then you can have little scratches and tears, little irritations in the skin and around the cuticles. That could present a bigger problem later. Probably won't, but you just want to avoid that. So a soft nail brush is sufficient to clean under the nails and around the cuticles. And don't forget the thumbs. Don't forget the thumbs. They need to be taken care of too. So don't forget the thumbs. After you do that, again, you're patting the hands dry. You're leaving the hands just a little bit wet. Just a little bit wet. And hey, Rachel, you're leaving the hands just a little bit wet as you moisturize, as you dry them off, and then moisturize. Layer up. I mentioned this earlier. So you may want to put on whatever lotion, whatever moisturizer, whatever cream it is that you are using, and then you may want to add another layer of oil, or you might want to add the oil first, whichever one penetrates your skin best first. Then that is the one that you want to use to penetrate the skin first. and then add another layer of whatever protectorant that you are using. And as a woman, if you happen to have what you can find, online, moisturizing gloves for you to sleep in, if you can actually sleep in those gloves, then put those gloves on. Put those gloves on and sleep in them. I can't sleep in them all night long. I tried it before, years ago, before this was happening, just wanting to have soft, tender skin like a baby's behind all of the time. But I can't sleep in them. I think I can't sleep in them. But if you can, then do that. But layer up. You can add up to 3 layers of protection if that works for you. And then just also be mindful that whatever protection that you're wearing, applying to your skin, you get it in between your sheets. So if it's oil or something that's going to stain, then maybe that isn't one that you want to wear to bed at night if you don't want your sheets to be stained. Okay, so this also, I want to add, this also applies to men as well as women. So you don't have to, men, you don't have to feel like that you are excused, that you are out of the game. I know the men don't want to walk around feeling like a perfumed whatever. So but you can moisturize your skin. You can find something that is odorless, and they have moisturizers that men use. They have total body care that men use, is good for your skin all over, just as well as it is for us. I'm focusing on the hands, but again, as I said earlier, it applies to every part of your body. Skin is the largest organ. Take care of it. It is your temple. It is your outer covering. So take care of it. Treat it well. And just remember, I think these were really like basically 3 simple rules that that you can apply. If you want some of the thickest skin protectorant, then that would go back to Vaseline, which I think everybody grew up. If you're African American, you grew up using Vaseline. We always had it in our household, and I think my children can probably attest to the fact that I used it on them. Faces shining like new money every winter, every day in the wintertime. Anyway, I am running out of time. I have to go on to my next assignment. But I thank you for being a part of the broadcast on this evening. Again, this is Lady Victoria with Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. And I hope that this post on tonight has been helpful and informative to you. Please, again, like and share across your various social media platforms. I greatly appreciate that. And in this time and season, be safe, be careful, and stay at home. Lady Victoria chatting with you. Until the next time, bye for now.